Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho are going to face off in the first ever Asylum match, which is essentially the Lethal Lockdown match from TNA, if you've seen that before, but probably will have a lot less when it comes to the botches, so that's a step up. And, it's not exactly 100% the same. They're not going to probably do the whole time limit thing or whatever, but it's just got weapons involved and whatever. Kind of cool. Why not? Dean Ambrose plus weapons plus Chris Jericho seems like a good combination, and cages are cool. So, hey, I'm down for it. I think that this is a must-win for Dean Ambrose, but I'm actually starting to get a little worried that he's not going to win the match. I think we're going to get the possibility of somebody coming in here, causing an interference, and starting a new feud with Dean Ambrose. Don't want it to be Bray Wyatt. Don't expect it to be John Cena, of course. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to get worried that Ambrose is going to fall victim again. He loses most of these matches. And every time that I hope that he's going to win, and I think that he has to win and whatever, they tend to fuck him over. But Peyton, what do you think's happening here? Is this a situation where Ambrose should win, or are they going to go something else?
I'd actually be surprised if Ambrose doesn't win this. Like, at this point, what's Jericho doing that he needs to win this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get people are scared because he won that match at Mania against AJ Styles. That made more sense for Jericho to win to me than this. Like, I don't think it's out of the question to see Ambrose win 2 pay-per-views in a row. Especially because this is going to be set up as like Ambrose's match. Like, there's a legacy able to be set up here. You can make this kind of like his version of the casket match to The Undertaker.
Yeah, but you know what gets me worried about that? Hell in a Cell was kind of Undertaker's thing, and he lost that first match.
Are you saying Kane's going to come out and take out Dean Ambrose?
Hey, he's not doing anything right now.
No, it was Seth.
Just about to say, there's another brother of Dean Ambrose's who might be available.
Seth is the one guy that I think, if anybody is going to make an interference, it's Seth. But I don't want that to happen either.
But I think if Seth is coming back, he's going to come back as a babyface. I don't think he would screw over Ambrose.
Well, he left as a heel, so there's no reason he can't come back as a heel and turn afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a chance he might not even necessarily come back in this match. If it was going to happen tonight, he could also come out in the main event. He's got a lot of options.
This is really confusing what they do with Seth, because Roman Reigns is not the babyface that they're hoping for right now, so they could have him come back as a babyface to go up against Roman Reigns and kind of just play into the whole, like, hey, cheer who you want to cheer, boo who you want to boo kind of a thing. Or if they want to make sure that everybody knows that he's a heel, there's nobody better to face than Dean Ambrose. You know, a babyface Seth Rollins he's gonna get a pop no matter what. You hear his music come out, anything like that, people are gonna pop. But if he's gonna go attack somebody, Ambrose is like the one guarantee people will boo.
So what about Sami Zayn? If he went off on Sami Zayn, because he's like the underdog of the company right now.
Nah, he'd still get less boos against Zayn than he would Dean Ambrose. People love Ambrose.
Mm-hmm. Plus, there's people that aren't really too familiar with Sami Zayn yet, that never really watched NXT, and they're just going to be like, oh, that fucking dork, yeah, Seth Rollins, whoa! Like, you know, Ambrose is the man.
Yeah.
I hope he wins. Like Peyton said, I mean, if you want to build up this thing as like being his match, the Ambrose Asylum match kind of a thing, he should win the first one.
Well, there's also the case that this feud might be going on another month, in which case it would be perfectly okay if Jericho won. I don't know if he's going to or not. And I wouldn't mind seeing these go like feud for another month. They've actually been some of the best television we've had in a while. So, I think Dean Ambrose is going to win, but I could see a case for Jericho.
I think if Jericho wins, he's only winning if there's interference. Like, I can't see a clean win. But right now I'm leaning more towards Ambrose wins, gets involved in Money in the Bank, and then a feud happens after that. Like, maybe Rollins and Ambrose at SummerSlam, maybe, God, I hope not like Bray Wyatt or something, but I think that that's where Ambrose is leading, and I think he's winning this match. So I hope that's the case, but If I'm going Ambrose and Wego said his piece, Kalen, who you got with Ambrose and Jericho?
Going with Ambrose here. Even though he did get the win at Payback over Jericho, I think he still needs it more. I don't think, and then I thought this a month ago too, I don't think Jericho really has any long-term plans here. And then, of course, he stuck around. But as far as long-term, I've got to think that Dean Ambrose needs it more. And saying this is the first Asylum match, I would say that would play into Dean Ambrose's favor. So this is kind of, I could see it going either way. I'm not going to be surprised with either of these men going over, but I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose.
What do you got, Drew?
Going with Dean Ambrose, just for the sole purpose of I think he'll win. And
That makes sense.
I remember at one point you said that Chris Jericho wasn't going to be around for much longer, and 2 months have gone by.
Yeah, that was surprising,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I don't know. If Jericho ends up winning, then he's probably going to still be around for a while, but I have a feeling now that maybe he'll leave soon. So I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose for the win.
Peyton, you said that you're going Dean Ambrose, correct?
Yes, I did.
One final question for you then. When do you think Jericho's leaving? Do you think he's leaving after this? Maybe sticking around for Money in the Bank? Maybe even SummerSlam?
I think Jericho's schedule may have opened up enough for him to keep sticking around a bit more. I don't see Jericho on many reality shows anymore.
I hope not. But you got like a timetable that you would want to predict?
August 16th.
Okay. If it's the 15th and he goes, we'll still give you credit. But we got one more match that we got to talk about here for Extreme Rules. The main event, the Extreme Rules match. Kind of fitting. AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns, coming up in part 11.